His intake form said 3 years in care, 61 adoption inquiries, 0 successful placements. Reason: anxiety in new environments. He was a large brindle mutt with an uncertain heritage and a calm that shelter workers had come to interpret as depression. He sat at the back of his kennel and watched people with the steady regard of an animal who has learned not to invest in outcomes. His name at the shelter was Bruno. Nobody had changed it. James was a 42-year-old Army veteran, 2 tours PTSD diagnosis 4 years prior, currently in treatment with a therapist who had been recommending an emotional support animal for 18 months. James had resisted. He did not think he had the capacity for another dependent. His therapist made an appointment at the shelter on his behalf and told him to show up. He showed up. He walked the rows of kennels. He came to Bruno. Bruno looked at him. James sat down on the floor outside the kennel. The shelter worker started to say something, stopped, and stepped back. Bruno walked to the front of the kennel and sat down 4 inches from the gate, directly in front of James, and was still. They sat there for 11 minutes. Subscribe so you don't miss the first week. Some things start before anyone is ready to document them. In the first week, Bruno did something James's therapist had not prescribed and had not seen in 3 years of recommending emotional support animals. He learned James's nights. He learned the specific quality of James's breathing that preceded a nightmare. James could not have described it, could not have quantified it, and at that point, before the nightmare, Bruno would press his body against James's back and stay there. The nightmares became shorter, the recovery from them faster. James described it in session as like having an anchor. His therapist consulted with an animal-assisted therapy specialist. The specialist said, "What you're describing is a dog performing anticipatory grounding, detecting pre-nightmare physiological arousal, and providing deep pressure intervention before the full stress response activates. This is a trained skill in certified PTSD service dogs." Bruno developed it without training in under a week. He was waiting for the right person. James did not call it a miracle. He was not a man who used that word. But he called Bruno his dog with a particularity he had not used about anything for a long time. Subscribe. Fur-covered miracles don't announce themselves.